your actual job or job that you wish to do is
Totally, man.
explaining stuff.
Yeah. And it looks like we are live as of now. To everyone who is already here, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a wonderful special guest with us here today. I will be having him introduce himself probably a few times while we let people filter in. And if you wouldn't mind, one of his videos is playing in the background. My good friend Ozzy, would you briefly tell those who are listening about yourself? I am sure I will be asking you to do the same again.
Yeah, well, hello everyone. I am, well, Ozzy from Aussie Empires, the super duper cool scenario editor YouTuber.
Hell yeah.
I actually, yeah, it's, you know, the one and only, of course. And I primarily make a lot of content about, well, the scenario editor and whatever that entails, making landscaping videos, tips, and blah, 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 all that good stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love Ozzy's content, and there's a half decent chance that you are familiar with him. He's been hanging around on my Discord for a while, and I've been enjoying his channel's birth from its outset. I'll be playing some ambient, cozy Aussie videos in the background, and a bit of a clarification for you all. I am sick. I apologize. I will be sounding like shit. But we're going to wait a couple minutes for people to filter in. And so, in the meantime, if you guys have questions, thoughts, discussion topics you'd like to hear today, please fire away in chat. I will, of course, love to hear from you all. Got a couple people saying Aussie. Hey, Eric, good to see you. Hey, Zamlent. Do we have any more information about the new DLC? Not to my knowledge. I have some of it pulled up for us to talk a bit about later. I'll be, of course, curious to hear what Ozzy thinks about it as well. But another chunk of what we're going to be doing today is going to be talking about the scenario editor, given that that is, of course, Ozzy's field of specialization.
True.
Before we get into like all of the other details, while people are again filtering in, giving people some time, Ozzy, do you have thoughts on the upcoming DLC, pro or con? I'd be very curious. Or is that something that's not really as important to your enjoyment of the game anymore?
Well, seeing as that I primarily spend my time in the scenario editor, uh, this is massive because three new civs, and I bet you there's going to be so many new objects and Gaia bulk honky that you can just place down and spam everywhere. Just one new object or a couple is enough to make a whole new scenario. I mean, for example, in the last one, you suddenly the Stonehenge or the Loch Ness monster was just added randomly, and I mean, you can make so much stuff about that. But let alone three civilizations. I mean, it's just kind of nice to have the variety because for some scenarios, or back in the day, you'd have to choose a certain like for the Goths, which just would not make sense historically. But hey, you had no other option with it, so just having more civilizations in South America that's pretty cool. And also because I mean, how long have we been asking for a new civ there, and let alone we get three?
Yeah,
I find that quite cool. I just hope it's better than the was it the Chinese splitting one,
the
which
3K
I
one.
thought,
Yeah.
yeah, I really hope it's going to be better than that. I really hope.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have been known to be confidently wrong on many an occasion before, but I have a good feeling about this one. I have like quite a good feeling about this one.
Mm,
I will confess, I had a good feeling about the other one too, the 3K one.
mm.
Um, but yeah, I think I can iterate why that one did not work out. And this one, at a guess, doesn't seem to have the same issues. There's plenty more to discuss about it, of course,
Mm.
but to briefly address chat. Hey, Quagsire, Diego, Fulgurating Bean, great to see
Oh, it's
you all.
Percom. It's the go. Oh,
Yeah.
it's the go.
So many.
Oh,
It's great to see you all. Thank you all for joining us. Again, if you have any discussion topics you'd like us to go over, please do fire them away. If you have any thoughts of your own, we would love to hear them as well. Just a couple more minutes before we get into the discussion topics to give people a little more time to filter in. Another thing that I would just like in talking about this upcoming DLC, one of the things that makes me pretty excited by it and happy about it is they led with a new architecture set. Like they went out of their way to specify there's going to be a new architecture set in this thing. And
mm.
that to me indicates a bit more of an attention to the aesthetic elements that so concern me, like myself, because we've heard oftentimes that architecture sets are very expensive to develop and take a lot of time and resources. And so if they're going out of their way to create one for this new DLC, that to me indicates they are taking it more seriously than perhaps other recent ones. What do you think about that?
Mhm. Well, I like that they are really going 100% on this, or at least that's the feeling I get from it. I'm not sure if that's the case, but seeing as that they are really they're making the choice and showing us that they are willing to go 100%, and
Yeah,
definitely with the new civs. Because I mean, if we look at again the Three Kingdoms DLC, not many people were too happy with this.
indeed.
You've had the or at least I'd say a lot of people were content, of course, but not as much as, for example, the what was it, the Dawn of the Dukes DLC and all that.
Yeah,
So I think they're trying to maybe, I don't know, convert some people over to the to their side or whatever. But I just really like that they are doing this because I do know that having their own architecture and all that and their own separate thing hasn't been done in a little while. But it's just really nice to see that they are open to even after I don't know how many civs do we have now, like over the 45, that they still want to do this, for the community. So I find that I don't know it's kind of nice.
yep, absolutely. Yeah. Along similar lines, even though Three Kingdoms had a lot of problems, don't get me wrong, um, there are a few things that I was and still am very happy with about it, most substantially being the focus on regional units. I don't
Hmm.
know if you
Oh, that
feel the
yeah,
same, but like for
yeah,
me, regionals are terrific and add a ton
awesome.
to the game. And to me, a South American DLC is just prime real estate for
Hmm.
regional units.
True. I mean, I know that all I've said about the Three Kingdoms DLC is kind of, well, bad, but as a guy that mainly spends his time in the scenario editor, it was a pretty damn good DLC. I mean, there was a lot of stuff you could play with. Again, as you said, the
Mm,
regional units are very, very good to have. I mean, the Fire Lancers and the White Feather Guards in the project I'm working on. Uh, those units are so handy to have because you can rename them, do them, just whatever. And it's honestly, in terms of scenario editor stuff, I loved it. I really did. Although the campaign itself, for some reason, the first part was incredibly designed, as in just the aesthetics of it. So in
yeah,
no means am I saying that playing it is worse, but the aesthetics of it have just degraded, which I find very weird. This happened the exact same with the Alexander scenario. Seriously, you should just look at the first scenario and the last, and you will see clear differences in just pure in the layering mode. You can see in the background the layering mode.
yeah,
The Gaia objects, it just doesn't feel like the same designer. Now, I'd be totally okay with them maybe spending a little more time to make it look the same because it feels like there's multiple designers or just two complete different design sets being used, which is just very, I just a bit weird. The quality's still there, but it just doesn't look the same.
yeah, absolutely. Well, that's a really good assessment, and it's the sort of thing that I probably would not have noticed, but your eye is perfect for catching that sort of thing. To quickly catch up with chat, Eric says Koreans in custom scenarios suddenly only have regular mangonels. Lol.
That sucks.
I mean,
I don't like
that
that.
does suck.
I don't like
Because
that. I love siege onagers, although
yeah,
it was kind of a grind, but it had some flair to it.
yep.
But now they don't.
Much as I love the rocket cart, like that is one of the downsides of swapping
True. Mm,
a
yeah.
regional out. Uh, Good to see Richard. And Eric says, first time we get a new architecture set since 2019. Yep. Uh,
Damn.
Ben Gaiety says, big gripe with Three Kingdoms is lack of Jurchens and Khitan's campaign.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that is so true. Oh, that is very true. That was so weirdly done. I understand all the new stuff that they're doing, but you're introducing new civs just for Age of Empires, and then you don't give him a scenario. He just
Yeah.
didn't sit well with me.
Don't like
It
that at
did
all.
not.
And there's so many good options, too. Um, yeah, there, and okay, should Okay, sorry. There's a lot of things coming in, so just kind of
Oh,
skipping about a
nice.
little bit. Should Chinese get Heiguangs? I don't know the history behind the Heiguang cavalry. Sounds plausible, especially
No
given that
idea.
the Chinese cover like comfortably over a
A
thousand
lot.
years in their design,
Should Chinese get?
which I
No,
don't like.
could.
But whatever. Wish the regionals were not so lopsided, says Tyranno. Yes, I would fully agree.
Mm,
I would love to see more. Uh, the biggest gripe with 3K is the mishmash of Khitan goods. Oh, yes.
mm.
I still await your concept on a Bosnian civilization. That would be fun. I do have it on my list. Good to see you as well. Oh, Tupi is such a wild card. Yes, I agree. I know that a couple of people have been saying that they were just there for the Brazilian market. I don't buy that personally because not only are they were they relevant enough to even be, I would argue, featured in the original Forgotten campaigns way the hell back in the day. Do you remember those, Ozzy? The ones that were released by Cision and Co. But then back when it was a mod and they had that really janky Portuguese one, or not Portuguese, was it?
Dear Lord, I don't think I do. That must be a while back. Maybe that is a while back though.
Yeah, I can't. It wasn't Pizarro. I can't remember who it
Uh,
was, but it was this weird one, and they featured there as well, admittedly in a very
mm,
silly and mythologized capacity, but they were about. And also, as we know, just putting in a civilization for that like speaks to a given people does not
mm,
necessarily convert to sales numbers. So if that was their reason, it's a stupid reason because the Tupi are cool, and there's more and more information coming out about just how developed their
mm.
civilizations were. Um, if you want to make it, if you want to make it up to us, release a second North China DLC. Oh yeah, hell yeah, I think that'd be sick.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Tyranno
Just
says,
just
"Oh
just the
yeah,
Jurchens and Gitans would be good. Just an extra to
yep,
scenario. Although now you do give it up to the
proper time
scenario
bits,
creators to do it. But
yep,
again, would be nice to have.
totally." Um, and Tyranno says, "Hey Guang were used up until the Tang Dynasty." Then they should, yeah. Should every civ get
Hmm.
unique architecture for every building? I would
Oh
love
dear
that,
God.
and but I think that it would be perfectly reasonable to release those as like DLC packs that you have to buy.
Hmm.
I think it's
Hmm.
perfectly reasonable, as long as they were well priced. I wouldn't mind. Uh, all new civs will allegedly have same architecture. Yeah, that's what I believe it is. I believe the new civs, says
Hmm.
Godflesh, the new civs are just for community popularity rather than trying to reach new markets. I would fully agree. I think people have been asking for South America for a while. Now,
Yeah.
we've given people plenty of time to filter in and been chatting about cool stuff already. A brief clarification to you all. Good to see you all. I am sick. I'll be coughing and sniffling and being disgusting. I apologize. And if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself once again, Ozzy, that would be terrific.
That's totally fine. I do just want to mention that my Wi-Fi is especially terrible today. So if it seems like I'm that I kind of dropped off the earth for a little
Mm-hmm.
while, that is the reason why. But as for an introduction, for the second time, hello, I am Ozzy from Aussie Empires, the scenario editing channel. As far as I know, I'm the only active one for now. So
Yep.
that's kind of weird. And I specialize in anything in the scenario editor, whether it be AI, the triggers, map layering, and all that good stuff.
Yep. Absolutely. Ozzy has a fantastic channel. We love Ozzy. We've had him on the Discord for a while, and I will be posting his channel in chat. If you have not subscribed, please do. If you even have the slightest modicum of interest in the scenario editor, this is the sort of channel where if I had found your channel when I was like 16, I would have binged every video and made a ton more stuff than I ended up doing.
But that's kind of how I got into it. If you know Alkalim, um, in my opinion, he's the goat. He
Yeah,
taught me
totally.
like 99% and all that. And at a certain point, new scenarios weren't made,
Yeah.
or anything, or new videos about it weren't made, and that kind of I don't know, that didn't sit well with me. So I had to so I had to do that. I had to take that upon myself. Even though if you look at the first video, um, I was not well well prepared for this
Well,
at all.
we're never well prepared. Pardon me,
No,
my
it's
youngest just came in. Do you want to say good night? Can you say good night? Good job, buddy. I love you very much. Yeah. Down you go. Off you go, boo boo. Sleep
what
well.
happened to Al Khalim. His Carthage campaign is awesome. I have no idea. I really don't know. It's a shame. He's the goat, honestly.
Totally. And has made some really cool stuff
Yeah.
since
Oh,
then.
he's. Oh, he's. My God, he's actually done the official stuff.
Another interruption.
He
What's up, Sam? Are you okay?
if
Don't tell me the non-stop.
Okay, did you set the stove on fire again? The oven.
Huh?
Did you set the oven on fire again? Nice. Thank you for the delicious food. Oh, thank you for saying goodnight. I appreciate it very much, Chat. Yeah,
never heard
Eric,
of alchemy.
Alkalim is, I think his biggest claim to fame now is he was a big part of designing the first Chronicles, I believe. Or perhaps that was something else, but that's what I remember being. I'm sorry, Ozzy, for interrupting. Please carry on.
Oh no issue. I was giving you all the time in the world. Where was I? No, but Alkalim, he's the. I mean, just look him up. He is the original scenario editor, maker, whatever, and he's incredible at what he does. If the official stuff he's done for Chronicles, it far surpasses whatever I can do. It's seriously, it is. If you want the bare bones basics from like, well, 20 years ago, there's videos I think like 10 years old. It still holds up today. So if you do have any interest in the editor, I can't find the channel anymore.
I have
That if it should, bizarre. But it is just very good, and he's stopped. Yeah, 1 year. He's taken a break, I think, but he's very good at what he does. If he does, see this video. Hello, but he's the goat. He's seriously. This is the guy that got me into scenario editing and all that.
Totally.
And
Alkalim is awesome.
I think yeah, and he does a lot of videos like how to create campaign maps. I'm terrible at doing that type of stuff. It's more coding work and all that, but he will explain it to you easily, just like that. Boom, done. You got it.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's something I actually have to rewatch his video every time I have to do it. So if you are interested in any of my videos or whatever, Alkalim is your guy. Seriously.
And I think the two of you together make for a pretty fantastic combination of options, because I think there's things I would argue that your eye candy, I personally like it better than Alkalim. So I think that the two of you each have different offerings
Different strengths.
that
Yeah,
you,
true.
that you
Yeah.
value. Jumping into news, I put out a video about this. Briefly, for anyone who doesn't know, we're getting Demeter in Age of Mythology, and we're getting the Aztecs in Age of Mythology. Ho, ho, ho.
Yes.
I did it. And also, we are getting, of course, the Age of Empires 2 big upcoming South America DLC, which is also pretty fantastic. All things that I've been very much looking forward to, very exciting to see. And on top of all of that, I don't know if you've seen the picture of Demeter. Look how pissed she looks. Just
I don't.
wait, I'll send it to
Oh
you.
yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, she just looks mad.
Oh good lord. She. All right. Interesting.
Yeah, she looks like you just like pooed on the floor in front
Yeah.
of her.
Very mean.
Judgmental. Oh god.
One of the dear God. Okay. Nice
Now,
one.
we do
Hello.
have a little more information about her since I last heard. We know her god power and her myth unit, for example.
Really?
Or rather, maybe it's not her myth unit because she's going to be a major god, I presume. But we know one of the myth units that are released alongside her. So, for example, her god power reads as Wither, which dries out berries, plants, and trees and transforms terrain into barren wasteland where nothing can grow for a short period of time.
Interesting. Although I'm not sure. Now I do play a little bit of Age Mythology with a good friend of mine, though I wouldn't call myself anywhere near good. But I wonder how this will play out in more competitive scenes, because I don't know, compared to like what Zeus and all that,
Yeah,
I'm not sure how good it will be.
I have no idea either. Though I will say denying farms sounds pretty strong.
That is good, and berries and whatever and all that, and just simply denying space to boom is already quite good.
Yep. And then they're also offering a statue doodad that you'll probably have to pay money for, and I'm never going to touch. And
great.
they're announcing a siren myth unit.
Oh,
They actually have the proper like winged seabird appearance rather than the weird kind of mermaid one that pop culture has
mermaid stuff.
decided they are. Yeah, they have the talons and everything. I'm curious to see how they actually.
Ultimate fan pack.
Yeah,
All
exactly.
right.
Yeah, Lord knows what that is. Ultimate fanny pack, more like. Uh, so the looks promising thus far. God Power Wither is great. That's exactly what it should be. I'm happy about that. And I've made Lord knows how many resource denying God powers I've personally made. So this is very gratifying for me. uh, and let's see. Yep. Then Rise of the Gods, the Aztec one. Rise
Right.
of the Aztec Gods, Obsidian Mirror. That's the name. I really like that name for a DLC. Um, that one I'm very excited for, but we unfortunately don't have a lot more information. Now, given that obviously your specialty is a lot more Age of Empires 2 than Age of Mythology,
Mm.
focusing on the Age of Empires 2 DLC, what as a designer are you most looking forward to in this DLC? And is there anything that you are uniquely looking forward to in this DLC over others?
Others. Hmm. That's a good one. Oh, I'm looking forward to the new triggers.
Ah,
And trigger fixes.
yeah,
That's mainly, oh, and conditions. That's the main part, because of course you've got new objects and all that, but it doesn't work without the triggers. Now, what I am scared of is that some of those triggers might not work, and some triggers that do work might not work. Now, that's kind of what I'm afraid for.
yes,
And definitely with modify attribute, for those that know a little bit about scenario editing, that one's super duper fun and loves not working. So you have to make a workaround every single time.
what does
So
modify
that's kind of what I'm
attribute
afraid of.
do for those who don't know it?
It There's a lot of basically in the scenario editor. There's a trigger called modify attribute. There's another one called modify resource, and you can modify I mean a lot of stuff. The armor, the attack of units. I never guessed who the character. And all that. That's basically what it does. And sometimes the trigger, it might say you have to add, I don't know, you want to add 2 attack to something. Sometimes that will not work. Or HP, it won't work, or it will work not as intended, and it is very annoying because
Yeah.
you kind of need that one in your scenarios.
Yeah.
It's like as if display instruction doesn't work. Isn't a woman, isn't is the merchant.
Yeah, so from what I understand, every new DLC, every new patch that drops fixes about as much as it breaks, and breaks about as much
Yes.
as it fixes.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh,
hopefully they
and
fix
Pathfinding.
the really useful ones and break some of the less useful ones.
True.
What would be some like upcoming triggers or conditions that would be game changers for scenario designers?
Oh, good. Good question. Ooh, that's very I haven't even thought about that. But the decision trigger, I think maybe going more into that would be really cool. Maybe not just have 2 choices, but multiple would be really
Oh,
nice.
that's cool.
Just that would be really cool. That you can maybe change it for yourself. That
Yep.
would be nice.
Absolutely. To briefly catch up with chat, Dragon Strider asked if anyone's done a deep dive into how to mod new buildings into DE that have destruction animations. I actually have talked to a guy about that, Charon, who was one of the guys behind the upcoming Jewel of Empires AoE 3 project, as well as working on the old Dharma expansion in AoE 2. He is actually working on new destruction animations in Blender, and apparently it takes just an ungodly amount of work. uh, Rosie the Riveter with wheat on her head. Yeah, that's not a bad description of Demeter. What do you say? Yeah, Godflesh says I would have preferred if they were called Nawa. Aztec is too specific. I agree, but obviously no one's going to do that. I wonder what her unique fortress human unit is. I hope they'll bring back the cut cataphract. That's actually a great question.
Ooh,
I'm going to guess a
that's
healer.
true.
That would be my guess.
Hmm.
Maybe like oh damn it, I should know this. The Greek word for a physician. Whatever. That will be my hard prediction, is that she will have a healer unit at the fortress. It's weird to see an accurate Greek myth unit instead of it being pop culture based. Yes, I agree. That is very weird, but I'm happy to see it. Will she have unique minor gods or goddesses? Sounds likely, I'm not sure. Eric says, I've never guessed who the people on the Last Chieftains picture are. I am going to make a hard predict that this one right here with the rippling abs is Lautaro. That's the only one that like I can say with any degree of confidence. I'm almost positive that one's Lautaro. Um, were you talking about the Muisca campaign will have a create choose your own adventure element? Well, the old like ancient forgotten campaign, I forget who it was. It wasn't Pizarro, but it was another like explorer. Uh, had kind of like a choose your own adventure sort of element. It would be really cool to see more standard campaigns have minor carryover objectives like we see in Chronicles, where what you do in one scenario will benefit another or something like that. That would be really cool to see, in my opinion, but I doubt they'll go that far with it. I think there's ways to do it without getting too fancy, though. Like, okay, Ozzy, as a scenario designer, this is something maybe you could you could speak to. How viable is it to have like a password system in a campaign where, let's say you do a side objective in one scenario,
Yeah.
and it gives you a password, and in a later scenario you can type the password and get a benefit.
To get special. Now I've seen some scenario editors do this, and honestly, I've got no bloody idea how that's even possible. Now I
Yeah.
think this is with with the AI script that they do
Yeah.
it. That you get a certain thing, and once the AI can recognize that. Now that's my guess. I think if that's how they do it, I like how chat's just talking about the abs. I found that
Diego
quite.
comes in
But
strong with identifying Lautaro and Pedro de Valdivia. And oh, thank you, Phil Grady B. Yeah, Francesco de Orellana. That was the name of the guy.
you guys think Lautaro flexed his abs?
I would
I
hope
don't
so.
know.
Otherwise, he's just going to be
No.
flopping around. You're going to need to do
Just
that. Ugh, too many
no.
mirror matches on Pachacuti. Yeah, I think that'll be fixed. Will the Inca get the new architecture? I have no idea. I think that would be really cool. But yeah,
Ooh,
pardon me. In terms of the like typing a password thing, is
I've
that an
got no
AI
idea.
script thing? Because I
I think
remember
so.
back in the Heaven days, there was someone who made this one scenario that stuck with me so hard, where there was a locked gate in the scenario, and you had to do like a side quest to find the password.
Oh, was it Ulio or something? I
That
remember that one.
sounds
I
right.
know.
And then you had to
Yes,
type the
that's it.
password.
Yes, at the gate, and it was. Yeah, I know that. I think it is with AI goals, or it's like a chat function. Basically, once the AI, because of course, the AI can detect a certain instruction or whatever. That's how you get these scenarios where if you type one, the AI will attack or flares and that.
Cool.
Basically, once it recognizes whatever 1, 2, 3, um, the AI will say, "All right, fine," and you can go into the triggers. Click what was it again? AI script goal or AI goal or whatever. In the triggers, there's a trigger that's named something like that. Click. It's a command,
Yeah.
and you can basically, if it corresponds with like what AI trigger number one or whatever, it will unlock the gate if it's typed in correctly. It's a whole work. It's not too crazy to. I think I could ask some people how to do that. I think they could very much do that.
Yo, new
That's such
video?
a that should be possible. No, yeah,
This
exactly.
counts cool
It
as
it should
shit.
be possible. It could. It doesn't seem that far fetched, honestly. If they can do it back then, we can do it now.
Totally. Now, another thing to ask you about for the upcoming AoE2 stuff. What would be the
Mm.
worst thing for them to break? Because we know they're going to break
As in,
something. Like,
they're gonna break something.
as a designer, what would be the worst thing for them to break? That is, like,
If
possible.
do you want me to be like based in reality or something that they could possibly break? Just the
Something that's,
craziest
like,
thing I can imagine.
likely for them to break.
Again, the modify attribute is just for some reason some triggers at a certain point in conditions they just make it crash. I remember that being an issue. That was really fun.
Yeah.
You've got no idea how many times I had to restart stuff. That's what that's the main thing. If a trigger doesn't work, fine. But if the trigger makes you makes your game crash, that's really annoying because then you have to seriously. It's instilled within me a fear of losing save progress. So every
Yeah.
time you do something major, you have to save. Otherwise, yeah, good luck. And as of last, I did have issues with my computer, and the amount of times my game has crashed because of I have no idea, honestly. and I just lost my data. It was horrible. I had to restart so many times. So I think that would be a definite number one. Yeah,
Oh,
that
that
would.
sounds
Yeah,
hideous.
it was terrible.
Actually,
Oh,
Chimbeke just posted in chat. I remember playing a scenario like that as a kid, like typing into chat, and I got completely
he wasn't
locked because
fluent.
I wasn't
He wasn't
fluent in
fluent.
English. You poor guy. That sucks. Shows the downsides of such designs. Now, it's quite fun. Good story.
That is.
Now, another thing I think would be very curious to hear as a designer is,
Mhm.
I feel like one of the most intimidating things as a scenario designer is creating AIs. And this is
Uh-huh.
something I know flat nothing about. How, like, regularly do you get new tools for that? And do you think that could be something we see in the upcoming DLC?
New tools. Now I am for Age of Empires AI. I am downright terrible. I can make a workable AI. It does everything a player would do.
Yep.
But I don't think new tools, anything new. I mean, again, you get new triggers, so you can do new stuff with AI. So I guess that.
Yeah, so
But
AI
anything new,
development isn't something you get,
mhm.
like, a lot of new stuff for?
No. So, although sometimes you do get like script stuff, but normally you see that at like the bottom of like scenario editor, and then you see like AI. This has been fixed, or this has been fixed. So it's just the same as the triggers a little bit. But new tools, it's mainly the same thing as Age of Empires, are just basic scenario editors. Because there's scenario designers who do way more complex stuff than I do. There's people that do like multiplayer scenarios, which I don't really do. I do single player narrative, blah de blah de blah.
Yeah.
And they make some crazy stuff, but I just make the usual, destroy three castles, and the AI will, either have unit spam or just infinite resources, which I don't like doing because, yeah, that's just super fun. Now, in terms of new stuff, not really. It stays the same. The AI you face is just, they mine for resources, they create units, they send them out every 5 minutes, and maybe defend a certain spot. AI
Yeah.
opponents for me will always choose an open way, far away, to then a short way blocked by palisade. That is true. They don't. AI doesn't like. That might be because there's a certain function where they can't destroy walls. I remember the AI we have now, so the base AI that you can get when you click on players and then go to AI, like the AI Conquerors Edition and HD Edition. They don't really like anything with walls. They'll only attack it if if they really need to. Otherwise, they'll just go all the way around, and it's like a thing you can toggle. Well, not toggle on, but you can code it. It's basically just really simple. It's just something like wall attack mode on. That's basically what you do, and then they can attack walls. And trust me, figuring that out was very, very handy. Because before that, it was just like, why the hell are they just not doing anything? It was horrible. That's basically why that might be. I'm not sure if because I see some scenarios, because of course I look at the Moz page a lot. Some scenarios need triggers for Jesus, good.
Don't
Some
let Pronogo
scenario
hear you about your AI with infinite resources.
some some good God, where was I? No, crud! I completely lost
I
my train of thought
apologize.
because need triggers for Latoros abs.
Nice. The flex trigger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anna, we do have new DLC info. I'll let it scroll a little bit because we did go over it because we got a
Don't
little
let
info on Demeter. But pardon me. Yes, Ozzy. Carry on.
Yeah, I see here, don't let anyone hear about your AI with infinite resources, which is fair, which is honestly true. Unless it's like a defend the spot scenario, where it's really, where you're just supposed to defend and not really raid anything. My God, I remember the days where, I mean, I think most of us who've played all the scenarios and whatever know that people and editors love to just give the AI 900,000 whatever resources, or just infinitely spawning resources, or just making the units cost nothing, which you can also do. You just modify that. And oh my lord, it's way better to just make it normally, which does it does take more time, but
Do you want to
no,
say
good.
goodnight to everyone,
Not gonna-
Sterling?
Good night.
Thank you,
Good
Sterling.
night. Good night, stars.
Good night, stars.
Good night, hill.
Good night, Hill. Go on, you.
Go.
I love you so much. Come on,
5,
Sterling. Go with
4,
Lee, please.
3.
Thank you very
2.
much. Screens, man. Screens and children is like
Go to your
crack. They can't look
Oh,
away
I
from
know.
it.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really nice.
God, yeah. He sees the screen. He's like, oh my God, I need to see it. Yeah, pardon me. Apologies for all the interruptions, by the way. I hope. You
Oh,
don't
no
mind.
issue, man. That's it's nice to see.
Totally. But yeah, it's really cool to hear about like more in depth about your side of the equation, your side of the experience, and in a similar direction, looping back to something we discussed earlier, which was regional units. I'm going to make a hard bet that we're going to get 3 regionals minimum.
Yeah.
And I would be curious to see, or curious to hear, whether you think we are going to be getting more regional units for AoE 2, of course. And if so, what you think they might be.
What regional units? Now, I don't know much about the history, I'm afraid. I wish I did. Very much wish I did. I should know this. But I think what I've seen is a trend in not so much like special bonuses, as in or they've got it's an infantry unit that is good against other infantry, like, or an anti-infantry like all that, all that good stuff. But I
So
think
exciting.
more stuff as in very cool, as in like a charge attack and all that stuff and fire on the ground. I think they're going that way now. Maybe like if you want to be very stereotypical, you've got like this dart unit with this blowgun, whatever, and it does like poison damage and all that. Now, that's what I'm thinking that they're gonna do. Pull something like that out of their asses.
Yeah.
Really.
I believe blowpipes were used pretty regularly, but militarily could not freaking. That seems
No, of course not. That's just bull. It can't.
That seems
you
silly to me. Like
maybe poison damage. I think that would be cool because we've
it
got
would.
that with the super overpowered unit back then. With the I've got no idea which Civ has this now. With like the bleeding damage, it could be something like that. You know.
Yes, that's the
Hopefully
the
less
Kitangut
overpowered.
unique unit.
Oh yes, dear God, that thing was a machine.
Totally. The thing that I would be most curious, actually, RL Dragonstrider just put it in chat. RL Dragonstrider responded to Eric, who put it in chat. Will the new Civs get Eagle Warriors? My guess is no. I think that they are going to get something else that is similar but has a different niche.
Right.
Yeah, I would be.
No.
I'd be curious to see what they did, because I agree with you that there's a lot of different niches that can be explored with all of these upcoming units, and I think that they have all of the tools in game currently to do cool stuff with this. Like, we have stinger effects, we have damage overtimes, we have all sorts of options.
Yeah. Although I do think they might get eagles. Otherwise, they either need one horseman, which I don't think they're going to do, or maybe they do.
Might.
I think if you see it, is that a horse?
It is a horse.
I'm not sure.
They
So I
actually
think
do have
maybe they might, or it's like again a special unit. But then again, how will the blacksmith techs work?
Yep.
Maybe Eagle Warriors are or they're going to get something totally unique, which I don't know for sure. That might seem a bit far, but if they do go for that, that would be really cool. I think that is that is very special. There's horsemen.
It's a lot to
That's
think about.
weird.
So this is a really interesting point in chat from Percom. What about stunning enemies? I don't think we have
Stunning?
anything.
Oh,
That's
no.
a cool idea.
I think that would be terrible if you look at, because again, I know I saw someone in the chat say competitive, my ears bleed. I have the same opinion. I can't play the game for anything. But I think stunning would be so overpowered. Could you imagine? Imagine if one of these civs gets onagers or anything, and you'd be able to stun units.
Stun.
Dear
Blech,
God.
and then you just splatted.
Dear God.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's actually possible to do that now. What you would do is you would do like a 100% move or like 95% movement and attack speed reduction, but have it last
slowing
half
units.
a second. Yeah.
Yeah, slowing. I think someone, bowler, thrower, That's cool. Slowdown effect.
That'd be
That'd be
awesome.
nice.
Yep.
Although I'd also like if they're able to do that, maybe someday in the future that some like like for example mud will slow or just maybe a game mode where that actually is of importance. That'd be really cool.
Well,
Or
did you
maybe a
see
trigger that does that.
did you see the total overhaul video I put out that included terrain and like terrain effects? I
Was
love
this? I
terrain
probably
effects.
did.
I love them.
Me too. It's because you can do it with triggers, and that's kind of a
Can you?
I've
With
never really
like an
had the
invisible unit or something?
an invisible. No, it's basically object in area, and then you change, and then once they're out of that area, you change again. That's kind of
Oh,
how it
that's
works.
so freaking smart. I would not have thought of that at all.
I
That's a
hate
great
stuns.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Godfly
basically how it
saying
goes.
League of Legends have given me PTSD for stuns. Yeah,
Yeah,
stuns are busted
stuns.
in a
No
lot.
stuns.
You have to make them like less than a second long for them to be fair. Has to be like
Yeah,
half a
they'd have
second.
to be expensive or like incredibly weak which would suck ass, honestly.
Yeah. The actually Chumbeke said earlier, Chasky being the regional replacement for scouts would be the bespoke choice for Eagle Warrior swapping.
Mhm.
Shh, to which I say, shh, don't don't spoil it. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, Chumbeke knows this shit. Eric says, I think this DLC was somewhat foreshadowing the naval rework where El Dorado was renamed to Cotton Armor. At last. What did you think of that naval rework, by the way, Ozzy? Especially from like a scenario designer perspective,
Oh,
it changed a lot.
it was weird to because I kind of forgot about it when I was designing a scenario and was like, what the? Where's my stuff? And I was like, oh dear God, right, I have to make that because it's really annoying because sometimes in a couple scenarios you might have to remove certain objects and all that, and now it's just somewhere else. So basically, if you have to disable docks, because some people in some scenarios, because people are clever, they'll find workarounds
Yep.
to certain stuff. So you have to disable transport ships, and you have to disable docks, and you have to disable the other thing. So now it's just more stuff to disable. Though I find it cool. I like that they did go out of their way to change something that's been, well, it hasn't been changing
Ever.
forever, really. So I find that quite cool. I like that they did dare do that. So
Yep.
although I'm not much of a competitive player, so I'm not sure how that plays out, but I found it quite cool. I liked it.
Totally. Something that I'd love to swap to briefly is you and I are working on a project together.
True.
We're going to be diving into the specifics shortly, but you all watching in chat may know that on a recent video I put out a poll that included in it some allusions to a potential community-driven video. And I thought it would be cool to review one specific entry to this that I think would be really, really fun to review. Well, two actually. One question was, which of the following historical events would you be most interested in seeing as the focus of the upcoming community-driven vid I keep hinting at? And people could choose any number. The other one, well, I'll do this one first. I gave 7 options, and we had talked about a bunch of these together, actually. The options I gave were Danegeld, England, the first rise of Islam, the Tang Golden Age, Justinian's reconquest of the Western Roman Empire, Triple Alliance Mexico, the fall of the Mali Empire, and the Sengoku Jidai. So that covers like quite a wide range of time frames and civilizations and stuff, right? Of those options, Danegeld, Islam, Tang, Justinian, Triple Alliance, Mali, Sengoku Jidai. Which of those would you guess did best?
Oh, okay.
'Cause I would never have expected which one actually won, and one.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah,
Oh,
never would have
I
expected.
thought it was going to be the Romans, probably. If that was Justinian, yeah. Sounds really. I thought that's my go-to if I had to think.
That was second place by a very close margin.
What was first then? Sengoku Jidai, maybe?
That was what I would have thought, right? I would have thought that would
seems
be
like very
the winner.
crazy.
But no, that came in last.
Whoa.
Who would have thought? Yeah, the winner was the first rise of Islam.
Really? Oh,
By a very
interesting.
narrow margin. But I'll be honest, the winners or the top ones were so close that
Mm.
I think we could go with any of them and be happy, right? Justinian and the first rise of Islam were like separated by like one vote. And then we also had the fall of Mali really high, like just a couple votes off in third. So really interesting.
Oh.
It gives us some options. But the other one that I wanted to share was, should the community event feature base game civilizations or completely new civilizations?
New ones.
Same applies to other
Ooh.
core game content like tech trees and similar. And so I had everything from stick with base AoE 2, please, to go crazy, I want all new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the majority of people voted for either go crazy or a nice blend of familiar and new. And I
Right.
think a nice blend of familiar and new probably won
Would
out.
be
So
good.
I'm going
Yeah.
probably in that direction. But
Uh-huh.
given that you'll be heavily involved in this, you're gonna have a heavy say in it too. But yeah, the fact that those were the ones that did really well, I thought was extremely curious, and was not the way I thought it was going to go. And frankly, between all of them, Justinian's Reconquest of Rome is probably the most clickbaity one. Probably.
That is true. Or clickbait, it does get the most. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
That would be the.
Ugh.
Yeah. Might be one of the most. I mean, the most basic to do, really, if you think of it.
Yeah.
Simeon's Conquest of the Battle. Ooh, that's also a cool one.
Yeah, that's a cool
That is
one
nice.
too. There's
That is
there's
good.
so many good ones.
There's a lot. There's a lot. I mean, we could do it.
We could
Yeah.
we could do tons of these, and if it goes well, we can. But we'll start start in like an easy one probably, and see where we go from there.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, that's true.
another one final topic I wanted to cover with you before we wrap things up, take questions from people. If any of you guys have questions for Ozzy on scenario design or whatever else, please do fire them away. The thing that I am curious to hear from you is, I, as well as many people who may be watching, at one point in my Age of Empires playing life, desperately wanted to make scenarios. Desperately. But I found them extraordinarily intimidating. The first time I ever finished what I would call a good scenario was I got inspired by Zach, by Zero Empires, Zach, way the hell back in the day, when he did a tiny map contest. I don't know if you would have
Yes.
been around for it.
Yep.
But you might have heard of it.
I know it. I know it.
And I got inspired
Love
to
it.
make a couple tiny maps, which was really helpful for me to like chill out and do something on a smaller scale. How do you go about like chunking out one of these gigantic scenario design projects to make it actually more accessible?
Ooh, good question. The simplest thing you can do is just plan your stuff out. Because I actually made a couple of videos about this. You don't know how many scenarios I didn't finish. I haven't completed. It was like, oh, I'm going to do this. And then at a certain point, you're like, not, nah. But if you plan something out, do certain bits, do the bits you're like, oh yeah, this is good. And if it's a campaign, it doesn't necessarily have to be I have to start with the first one, then the second one. Because it might be that the third one, you're a bit like, oh, I'm not really sure about it. So you're going to give yourself a bit of time, maybe make think about it a little bit. That's what I'm doing with the current project. I've skipped to like number 4, I think, because I didn't know number 3. And then just do the bits you're the most sure about. That you're like, yeah, this will get you rolling. For example, making a big fortress, or I don't know, the starting base, starting army can already be very good, because then you start to get a visual representation of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because if you just go in willy-nilly, say like, all right, well, I'm just going to make this, at a certain point you'll be like, oh, oops, it's too big, it's too small, it's whatever. And then having to redo that, oh, no, it's not impossible. But it's nice to get stuff right the first time.
It's
Now,
very
I'm not saying that this
demoralizing,
never
I'm
happens.
sure. Yeah.
Oh my god, you have no idea. If it's too small, that sucks. If it's too big, you can just shorten it down. Although I'm not sure actually. You can copy a full map. You're able to do that. Or copy bits from an actual scenario. But planning out your stuff is very good, and also just do it in little bits. It's not a job. It's something fun. You know, try and make some nice bits. Or, for example, I also tend to do this. Um, just do it in layers. First, you choose the important bits. For example, I think in the background you see I started with the cliffs and that because that is the
Yep.
main feature. Do the cliffs and all that, and it'll do wonders, and you'll start it. You'll start to see the scenario as you want it to be, a little bit in fancy schmancy words.
Yeah.
I mean, and the same thing goes for a whole scenario. Imagine if it's like in the cliffs, because I remember like with the Georgians campaign, it was a lot of mountains and that. If you kind of make the cliffs, the mountains, and all that, at a certain point you'll be like, all right, well, I've got enough space here for a village, enough space there for the starting base of player one, and la di da di da. If you do that, a lot of work has already been done. You don't really have to think of, where's this going to be? Where's this going to be? When you already start off when you've got nothing. Unless, of course, you're like me and you actually, on a piece of paper, draw out the scenario. But
Do you
again,
actually?
that's... Yes. Yeah,
Huh.
it's very handy to know. Because, I mean, at a certain point, the most difficult thing you'll have is you'll have the skills to make the map. But what the hell are the side quests going to be? What's the main quest? I don't know. The side quests are very annoying sometimes because you're like, well, do you make it something that, oh, if you do this, you'll get, I don't know, resources, or I don't know, weakens the enemy, or you get a new unit, or blah, blah, blah. I don't know. It's quite difficult at a certain point, but that's the cool thing about it. If you're creative enough, because I'm afraid my creativity is waning. If you're creative enough, you can really do anything. You can even make it really overpowered. I like that in a scenario. I know most people are like, oh, it has to stay difficult even at the end when you've boomed and all that. But I'm a bit like, if you've gone to that point, then yeah, you should be able to steamroll the enemy, unless it's hard mode and all that. But that's what I kind of do in my scenarios. At a certain point, if you did all the side quests, you did this, then yeah. I've never understood why AI Teuton players have crossbowmen.
Because it looks
I haven't
cool.
really... Yeah, it looks cool. That's basically it. That's I mean, they've got sergeants in the background.
Totally. Yeah.
It's just, although you can add anything, you can do. But that's my main tip. Plan it out. Do it in small bits, because it's not, you don't get paid to do this. Just try and
Absolutely.
make your own thing.
Beautifully said. Full grading Bean also adds, when I was a child, I would use toys to design scenarios to have a visual reference before going to the editor. That's awesome. I actually did the same exact thing with Playmobiles. I would like goof around with Playmobiles at age like 7 and then be
Oh,
like,
Legos.
or Legos, yeah, and then be like, I could just do this in Age of Empires, and then go into Age of Empires.
Oh,
That's
dear
awesome.
God. The amount of stuff I tried to recreate, as you said, with Zero Empires, but also like Ulio and all that, it was a lot. It's really cool. If you go back, I think there's like, if you look back, you should be able to see it. It's really well made. A lot of these HD scenarios and that are just incredibly made. I mean, look at, is it Filthy Delphia, or oh no, yeah, Filthy Delphia too. But oh dear God, what's his name? Oh, this is terrible. Good. What did he make? A really big one. A Rock Spring Revolution or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, of course. It's not Bassy, it's the other one.
Yes, Lord
That
Bass.
also
Lord
is
Bass
Bass,
of
yeah.
Jadwiga. Amazing. That is, that guy is so. I mean, he made Jadwiga. He even made a couple of YouTube videos about it. Seriously, if you want to get into map design, look at that. Look at that video. Look at those videos. It is so cool to see it, because it's really weird seeing it from someone that's so good at map design that he's like he's the official guy, you know.
Yeah,
Lord Bass. Oh, Lord Bass. There we go. That's him. Yeah, Lord Bass.
I loved those scenarios. So,
Awesome.
quickly catching up with things. First of all, jumping a little ways back to when we were talking about potential topics for our project. Simeon's conquest of the Balkans, we mentioned being a really cool idea for potential future. Rise of Islam will not be about the conquest of Muhammad. The idea would be about, it would be when the Rashidims attacked Persia and Byzantium,
Yeah.
like the Byzantines at the same time.
Byzantines, yeah.
Really, really cool topic. I went over it a lot in
True.
my Umayyad's video way the fuck back in the day. Prox, what about your New World nations? Sounds pretty cool. I have not had time to see them because I actually chose the build of the month for this one a while back. Godflesh said, and King says good tips. I fully agree. Thank you, Ozzy, for awesome tips. Godflesh says, I will never forgive how botched the scenario dedicated to Charlemagne was in Victor's and
It was,
Vanquished.
oh my god, don't get me started. Yes, yes. You've seen the official cat, oh, no, not official, the cat scientist one is really good.
Yep.
It is really good. Play that one, please.
Oh, yeah.
Some bits, I know Filthy Dale, I think, yeah, he did make that one. But some bits just don't make sense. And for some reason, your cat in Imperial till whatever, and it just felt really weird. It felt really weird to play, and as a map designer myself, when I did get to it, I was a bit like, I have no idea what. Just
Yep.
and it was difficult. Before it got nerfed technically. Oh dear God, you'd have to fight Imperial Age whatever, and with Castle Age units and this, and you'd have to kill this guy for some reason. And it felt very weird. It was really weird.
Absolutely. Godflesh says, I tried to design my own maps, but it got too complicated for me. I was in the same boat. That's why for me, the thing that was like the first map making project I ever actually finished was that tiny map one inspired by Zero Empires. I'd say start with like a purposefully really small thing. Like
Very small.
teeny
Start
thing.
simple.
Like
See,
what
if
Ozzy does with
it's
those
triggered,
like black space
exactly.
maps that you do.
If it's triggers that you're interested in of doing, the simplest thing I can tell you where to start off with, of course, would be a build and destroy, as in just destroy a town center or A to B style mission where you just bring an object to a flag or whatever. If you can do that, because again, a lot of scenarios are just build and destroy with some extra steps to it. If you can do that, that's already really good. And who knows, maybe make a couple side objectives, like, oh, bring this guy to here, or, I don't know, tribute certain gold, or collect sheep, although that might be a bit more difficult using variables. But just seriously, or bring back a horse, which is just bring object to area. If you can do that, which it does seem a lot for starting off. I remember when I was also, I didn't know much about it. But the more you do it, the more you're accustomed to mixing and matching triggers, and if you can just start a build and destroy, although I might just say do a to B style mission. That's because that is just kind of, not much. You don't have to do AI or anything, although you do have to use the none AI so that the AI doesn't move or anything.
Yeah.
If you can do that, that's already sublime. That is already incredibly good, because in Age of Empires, there's no guide for the editor. There's nothing if there weren't YouTube videos about it. So seriously, you should, if you think like, oh God, I suck at this, blah blah blah. It's seriously, you just take your time with it. The more and more you do it, the better you get. That's with everything in life, and definitely the editor, because again, Age of Empires has explained nothing, zero, zip about it. They just dropped it in like, here you go, have fun.
Totally. No, very well said. Very, very well said, actually. And with that, I have one more discussion topic to go over before we open it up to other topics or questions. If any of you watching have questions for Ozzy or I, please don't hesitate to put them in. Ozzy, if you have other things you'd like to go for, please don't hesitate to fire away. But I wanted to talk about our build of the month, which is this awesome Inuit Age of Mythology build that was sent in by a viewer quite a while back. It has been steadily incrementally edited over the days, and it has been sent in by the viewer Polypterids, who has done an awesome job with it. Let me move it over so you guys can see it better. I'll talk through it real quick. There's a bit of a preface here, but as you guys may know from my North America video, I love Inuit and adjacent, like, far North America cultures, and Age of Mythology is absolutely the place to put them. Here's Polypterid's quick summary of how this faction would work. First of all, no walls or towers. Instead, you create something called Inuksuk. Large ones slowly add to favor gain and slow enemies while buffing allies' attack and defense. No horse cavalry. Instead, you can make dogs, kimik, that can eat animal carcasses to gain health or gain favor. I would also add, personally, I would do a lot more with dog sleds. No farms. Instead, they have a hunter's tent. which is a universal food drop-off, and can also be turned to spawn map-appropriate game over time, which can be turned into favor and act as a renewable food source. They have very different direction for siege. Lots of infantry are good against buildings. And there's a totally made-up siege cavalry. Haha. And then there's a shaman unit with a few activated abilities, a melee combat fishing ship, and obviously it's a very unique culture with interesting mythology. They obviously have 2 ways to gain favor, using their kimik to eat animal carcasses and create the large inuksuk. They have their town center, they have their temple. I'm not going to go into like a tremendous amount of detail on this, but in terms of the one of the slightly more janky things about this build, which I find very endearing, is instead of calling one of their core infantry unit a clubman, it is a person with a club, which I find hysterical. Yeah, and they do also have in this design like a pretty thorough like set of everything from like dock units to full military units and a bit of a sampling of myth units. For example, this is one I really liked, is the Aklut. This is not one I personally had known about. It is a combo unit of a combo creature of an orca and a wolf. Like a speedy, possibly amphibious thing. Bunch of different potential myth units that were listed in this build as well, including, for example, one that I actually knew, though that's going to take me a moment to figure out how to pronounce it. Amautalik, I believe, which is a giant woman who kidnaps people in the folds of her clothing. It's like a boogeyman. As well as this is one I did not personally know, but it's fun to say. The Mahaha, which is, oh my god, it has claws but use them to tickle people to death. Jesus Christ. Hysterical. So overall, besides it being quite a fun build with a good amount of detail, I just love Inuit culture. And I think they're a perfect fit for Age of Mythology, and it's a build I've been meaning to do for quite some time. So Polypterids, thank you very much for submitting this. It's taken me months to get to it because I haven't done a build of the month in a little while. And for any of you guys who are interested in submitting a build of a month for a future stream, please do not hesitate to ping me on the server when you have one that you are really, really happy with, or send me an email if you're not on Discord. With that, final topics and questions before we round out. I will jump back to chat, and of course, Ozzy, if you have things you would like to go over, I would love to hear from it as well.
Of course. Petition to rename Shotel Warrior to Warrior.
That's great. Hey, it's Age of Histories. I'm really impressed at how user-friendly the AoE2 editor is. The AOM and AoE3 editor is really complicated. That puts me off. The AoE2 editor really welcomes you. Yes, I fully agree. I think the AoE2 editor is like a not insignificant reason for the game's success.
Yeah, that is because I've tried it in Age of Empires 3 and Age of Mythology, and it's very different.
Yeah, it's so dense.
And I mean, if you think the Age of Empires 2 editor's terrible, my god, try the others. I have no idea what the hell's going on. And I mean, I've got like 11 years in the editor, and it does go to show that the Age of Empires 2 editor is, in my opinion, it looks way cleaner and a little, I don't know, it's more intuitive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Empire with Ozzy.
A bunch of people Empire with Ozzy. That's awesome. A bunch of people are talking about how Charlemagne deserved a proper campaign and a proper unique model. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
I would say Charlemagne is like one of the most disgraceful omissions from Age of Empires 2, if I had to say.
Yeah.
Joan of Arc is wildly overrated as a historical figure. Everyone does Joan of Arc. Charlemagne did so much more cool stuff.
Charlemagne's goated. He should have been there somewhere, or I don't know. It should have come true.
Yep, absolutely. The and then Chimbeke says Inuit. I'm intrigued. Alchemist says I'm a native Alaskan. I would love the Inuit build. Yeah, I would. I really want to do that one. That sounds so fun to do. Riza says, when will naval update come anyway? I don't know. I have no freaking clue. Seal clubber. Good lord. It was fun to mess around in 3, says Dragon Strider, but trying to make the fort walls fit made me quit.
Oh,
Jesus. Whew. Yeah, Chumbeke says, because Chumbeke is such a talented AoE 3 modder, so when Chumbeke says, gotta love how the Age of Empires 3 editor is literally broken, you know it's
it is.
bad.
It is. So it is. I don't. Other people. I have never really seen anyone. I've never met a scenario Age of Empires 3 scenario editor.
That's
I've
such a
never
bummer.
ever never. It's as if they're like folklore. It's like
Yeah,
mythological
seriously.
creature. It's the next Age of Mythology character. Seriously, I've never. I think they do exist, but it's just not as handy dandy as the Age of Empires 2 one, or
I
maybe it's just
fully
not
agree.
as advanced.
I
Not
I
yet.
would I in my experience, the editor being good is like one of I talk about this so much. Editors being good are the reason that certain games do really well. Um, and
True.
like I would credit a lot of Warcraft 3's success purely to its editor, because
Yeah.
Warcraft 3, I played a ton of Warcraft 3. I love Warcraft 3. The core game of Warcraft 3 is pretty meh. It's all right. I like it, but it's very micro intensive and kind of clunky. The campaigns are cool, but like multiplayer, I don't know. The scenario editor was the best. It was amazing. I'd
Mm.
say it was less accessible than Age of Empires 2, but more powerful. You could do way more with it, and it was really reliable. So I think that when we look at why Age of Mythology and Age of Empires 3 often lag behind Age of Empires 2, I would credit a lot of that just to the editor. Like probably more than most other people would, but I would credit a lot
Mm.
in. Yeah. Uh, Alchemist says the AOM and AOE3 editors are really fun, but take way longer to master. Um,
True.
oh,
Yeah.
Percom says,
True.
"What's your opinion on the Kotian Khan campaign?" Do you have an answer to this? Because I have an answer to
Oh,
this.
I like it. I really like it. And the last mission where they split into two, that's really cool. That's a really different. I think that's never been done. And it was really difficult at the start. And again, to repeat, I suck at the game, so it was very difficult. But I really enjoyed it. I found it awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, I enjoyed it. If just for the map design and the triggers alone, that's my way of looking at it.
I would go so far as to say that I think Kotian Khan might be my favorite campaign. I love it. I especially like, the scenario. I forget which one it is. It's one. It's either 1 or 2. I think it's 1, where you're like constantly retreating through the map.
Yes.
I think that might be my favorite official
That
scenario.
is a
I
good one.
love
Well,
that
that's
one.
the. Is it the second one? Yes. No. Ooh, I don't know now. Is it the first or second one? Might be the first. Where you're. Yeah.
It's either
Is
1
it
or
the one
2.
with the Tartars where you have to kill the Tartars and then you
Yeah, you
win?
have to kill the
Yes.
Tatars and then
That.
keep retreating.
That was such a. That was
So
such an
good.
amazingly made. And the start. And you start off, fighting. You just get absolutely destroyed,
Yep.
and then have to run. And your allies just are getting also just defeated, and then suddenly the Rus run away, and it's perfect. It's the first scenario where I'm like, you know, where you kind of feel like, oh no, it's got the best theming in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great campaign. Stormagio says on the topic of AoE 2 versus 3 in AOM, 2D superiority. It's just simpler. I would actually, I personally love 2D games. I really prefer the aesthetics. I do not like most 3D models.
Hmm.
But that's a me thing. I do think it's a lot more accessible though. Um, Eric says, Ozzy, I noticed that AI units will always attack shooting buildings, shooting them and never backing away, even if they're losing. Is it
Oh yeah, the
possible to
bloody
change
idiots.
that?
I think there is. I definitely think there is. But again, most basic AI that you probably will make, this is just a thing that units do when they're in, how should I say it, in auto stance or whatever. They
Yeah.
just kind of, it's the same. Even the units you control, if there's something shooting them, they'll go after it or they notice something. That's just a thing.
Yep.
Even if it doesn't make any sense, they'll just do that. Now, I do think that there's a way of fixing this. Though in the AI, you'd have to make like a retreating function and all that. And honestly, I'm not good enough to do that. But
Sure.
I definitely think there might be a way. And there's a lot of Discord, or there's a Discord server where you can discuss this. Though I'm not sure, maybe AI Discord server, whatever.
Cool.
But I'm not very sure how to do that. Though I bet you there's a possibility.
Absolutely. On the topic of Warcraft 3, King says it spawned League of Legends. So many D&D dungeons were done in Warcraft 3. Chimbeke says everyone installed Warcraft 3 for Dota. Chimbeke says I never met anyone who unironically played like the versus mode. I did unironically play the versus mode. It turns out Godflesh do as well. I love Warcraft 3. But then on Kotian Khan, it was the second one, the Battle of Calco River. Thank you,
What
Risa.
was the second? What's the first one then?
Yeah, I can't remember the first one. It was good though. I just can't remember it. Age of History says I'm still not over the betrayal of Kotian when they killed. I went into a rampage against the enemy.
Yes.
It's so good. Yeah, the Sturmagio says I love how interconnected are the 3 campaigns of Dawn of the Dukes. Yeah, that was
Best DLC.
as a
Best
DLC,
made.
best DLC by
Beautiful.
far. So
Sonar
good.
Yadwiga is my favorite campaign. It
It's
is just
great.
it is what I strive to have. And the map design in every single one of them is stellar. It is
Really good.
incredibly made. If you just look at aesthetics, it is by it also again it's made by Lord Bass, so it should be. It is really good. And if you want to learn some new stuff there and ways to do it, that's what you got. That's the first one is uniting the clans. Oh yes, exactly.
Uniting
the
the
winter
Clans,
one. Yes.
that's the one.
That's the one. Yes.
And
Got
then
it.
I think that as a DLC, that one is by far the best from a campaign standpoint. I think the stories were very compelling. And yeah, Chimbeke says 2D is just so much more accessible. It's not even funny. Completely agree from that perspective. It makes it so that people designing their own assets is way easier too. Alchemist has a great question. Do you guys have an official campaign hot take? A mission that you love that everyone hates, or a mission
Everyone
you hate that
hates.
everyone loves? I have a few.
Ooh,
You go
I
first.
don't know. I'm very bland. I am incredibly bland. Because again, I don't. I just look at the aesthetics of stuff and the editing. Although I have played a lot, but hot takes, I don't think so. Really, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. I have to think about that one. I'm
I
gonna
have a
have to.
couple. I'll do a couple
don't-
so that I'll take the heat off you because mine are gonna draw
That's-
heat.
All right, go for it.
Yeah, my main hot takes are: one, the original Age of Kings and Conquerors campaigns, while they are iconic and I do enjoy revisiting them for nostalgia's sake, are on average much worse than most newer ones. I would argue that pretty passionately. And
Right.
I would also strongly argue that I think my not only my favorite, but many of the best scenarios out there are ones where you have very finite resources, like
Yeah.
extremely finite. I find that just so much more compelling. Like, for example, when I first got back into the game and I picked up way back in the day, African Kingdoms had just been released. And I
Right. Yeah.
jumped into the Sunjata campaign on hard, and I was like, how hard can it fucking be? And I don't know if you
Oh.
know the first scenario in the Sunjata campaign with the So-So
Yes,
scouts,
yeah.
and you have like fuck all for resources.
Yep. It is good. I like that. Yeah. Yeah.
That was one of my favorite scenarios. And it's a very simple scenario, but it was just so satisfying to have this uphill battle. It was so fun.
I like the concept of it. You're running, you're getting chased and you got to go somewhere and you're fighting a force that is way stronger than yours. And you get this little, honestly, you get this crappy town that is your. It's not like oh, you've got this small little town and for some reason they've got a bajillion resources. No, you're in this poor town with like a couple soldiers and you're running from the whatever, is he now king
Yeah.
or something?
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
It
I
was
very much
so
agree.
fun. And
It is more
same with
difficult.
the Yodit first scenario, by the way.
Yeah, where you have to find a way.
In
Yeah,
feudal
true.
age, like if you don't cheese it, like if you play it as intended and like grind it out, it's so cool. But it's very easy to cheese. So, I'd say the other like quite hot take I have is that the first scenario in Le Loi is really good.
Oh,
I
dig.
know a lot of
Okay,
people hate that
I
one.
despise the Layla. Again, I suck at it. And I wanted to tear my hair out. It was oh, Loloy. And the second one, the mountain fortress.
That
Don't
one's miserable too. But
disgusting. It was disgusting before it even got nerfed. Again, it's a really good scenario if you look at a perspective, but I'm actually not good enough. But it's so but beating it felt good. And
It
the
felt
first
really
one
good.
where we have to defend the clans who for some reason are just
Awful.
the weakest.
They
Yeah,
suck.
they're just terrible. Again, it's
Everything.
Age of Empires allies. They either betray you or they suck,
Yep. Fully
and
agree.
it's the latter.
Yeah, I love that. I like that campaign a lot, but I especially like that scenario. And Godflesh has a follow up out of the original AOK campaigns. Which is your
Ooh.
favorite? Uh, that's a really good one. I
I love
think
Frederick Barbarossa.
I was gonna say
He's my goat. He's my
Barbarossa.
goat.
It
With
was
Henry the Lion.
hard. It was like
Yes.
hard and
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, the
It,
Henry the Lion
the
betrayal.
narration and the speed. Although Joan of Arc does have a special place in my heart because it is the first one
True.
I ever played. But Frederick Barbarossa was like the first way, like, ooh, the Emperor in a Barrel, that mission. When you were like little and you're playing it, you're a bit like, oh my God, what am I doing? Because you've got like so many enemies and for some reason it's walled and Henry the Lion and
Yep. It's
good. Although
just great campaign. I
Saladin
think
is also really good.
the Saladin ones were, I think, the most satisfying to win as a child. Like, those were, for me, those were the hardest, especially the final one. You know, the one I'm talking about? The one that you used to be able to cheese by building a wonder on that teeny
Oh
island.
yes, on the island and the
Yeah.
gold island and I really like that one. I even now I think although again they are very not it's good because of nostalgia, but if you compare the triggers, I'd love honestly I think that might even be a project I just do out of pure passion. I'm just gonna take the old scenarios and then just redo it.
Yeah, that's a
Just
great
or not
idea. Oh, that
redo
would be
it, not
so sick
redo
for
it.
your channel. Like, make your own
That
version
would
of it, though.
I wouldn't like and not as if I'm gonna remake the map as a whole because that would be that would just wouldn't be the same because it's in my style. But I take certain bits and try to remake it.
I don't know. I
And
think you kind of should do the whole thing if you have the wherewithal for it, because I'd love to see your take on that same
true,
idea.
that could work. That could work. But
Yours are just
that
prettier too. Like,
mm, I doubt that. I'm a huge fan of the original design of it.
of
Very very
course.
open. But I don't know. But that would be really cool. I mean, again, in the first Barbarossa mission is one of my favorites. I mean, just you've got the relics, you've got the enemies, you're surrounded, you've got the Mongol or cumin mercenaries now.
Yeah, I loved that first
Oh,
scenario. Such a good
and
scenario.
it felt huge, big, and now I feel like that with the stuff we've got now, you could make that even better.
I agree.
Like,
Fully agree.
you could make that even diplomacy with a decision trigger. You could say, well, you've got all these enemies, make them your friend, and then at a certain point, because it's Age of Empires, they'll betray you, or you betray them, or blah 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 blah.
Mm,
You could do all that. Although maybe that would remove the intention that it's you against the world, or maybe
sure.
make them neutral or whatever.
Absolutely.
But really, very good.
Something
I think
that Full Grading Bean said was that the Ivilo campaign is incredibly
I was
boring.
just about to read that. I like the Vilo
I
campaign.
really loved that first scenario. I think it was the first scenario where again you had fuck all
Yes,
resources. I just love
nothing, and you
scenarios where
fight.
you have nothing.
I love
Like,
the voice acting in it. You've got like how degrading they are. That you're a pig farmer. What is
yeah,
this
yeah,
pig?
yeah.
What is this peasant doing? And then they get killed and like, and he still talks shit.
Hell
He's just
yeah.
and the Tartars who took over the other town was also really nicely made, and the towns all destroyed and very nicely done. So
Yep.
I
I
liked it, and
agree.
definitely the mission, with Nogai Khan, and you're stuck in the city, and you have to ride out, snipe the Khans. That was a toughie,
It
and a
was.
very well made one.
Yep. So I think the
And then
Ivalo
yeah,
campaign could be a little dull in comparison to like Kotian for me at least, but
mm,
I really liked the eye
true,
candy and I
yeah,
liked some of the premises
yeah,
a lot.
true, yeah. I like that. It has a lot of again also with the Cumin one. They've both got very different than just build and destroy.
Mm.
It's not just hey guys, we've got town centers, units, and just beat them up, destroy this. No, it's like you're running from an enemy. You have to run from an enemy. You have to defend a fortress. But if you stay too long and you don't go out on the assault, you will quite literally get overwhelmed as if it was nothing.
Yeah.
So you really feel it. There's a lot of different stuff, and definitely with the Cumin one, where you actually have to choose: do you go and help, or was it against the whatever against the Franks, or and the Byzantines, or you stay and fight against who was it, the Austrian, the Holy Roman Empire, whatever, and you help the people that killed, you know, Kotian. It was awesome.
Yep.
really well made. But Vilo, yeah, if you look at the humans and the, all right, I do understand where you're coming from.
Yep, I was about to say. Yeah, Age of History says some missions I had to copy
had to-
Ornlu's tactics to
Oh,
manage.
I did that with a Vilo, that one with the cavalry archers. You just spam cavalry. Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Oh god.
Fully understand.
The OG Spanish dub people are talking about was on another level. Even the William Wallace campaign was pure hype. I gotta look that up because I don't know about the Spanish translations.
Kind of.
But
the-
one of the things that I always loved about Age of Empires voice acting is as a child it was cool, and as an adult it's like camp as shit, and it's really funny.
It is
And
the French accents. I still adore. I see. Seriously, it's ingrained.
Sans-Zero the head. It's so
Yeah.
good.
Watch out, the Burgundians are thick as rats.
Do you know my
Oh,
favorite camp Age of
Olá,
Empires
here.
line of all time? Do you remember in the Portuguese campaign, "My captain is dead"? That one.
I love let your sword is dry.
Oh yeah,
Like
La
that. Oh,
Hire.
my ear.
I
Oh.
love how camp, and so hearing a dub of if the
That
like
would be
the voice actors
funny.
in other dubs actually
That
like
would be
keep
good.
the camp, that would be so awesome. Like I would
That
love
would be
that.
funny. I'd love that. Although we've spoken about now William Wallace, Joan of Arc, but I think Genghis Khan also deserves
Oh
that
yeah,
scenario
bring
deserves.
to us a holy relic.
Yeah.
Like that.
Bring us. Yeah.
He sounds like the knights who
And, you know,
say "knee" in the like original
It's
version.
but I just find it funny because you're supposed to Genghis Khan, but you don't see Genghis Khan. You see him once.
Yeah, at
That's
the
it.
beginning.
That's the whole. Have fun. Even though he's such a cracked out unit, he's 25 down. He can kill a war elephant. It's nothing.
Yep,
That's the only sucky
I
part.
remember that from Castle Blood back in the day.
Oh yeah, Genghis. Oh, the horde of Genghis Khan approaches.
Yeah, there's just so many
Oh,
amazingly.
so it's
goofy-
quotable, which we don't really have now. Although there is a lot of humor and all that, it just isn't as.
Yeah.
The voice acting is just a bit. Everyone's British. Seriously, it's like, oh, okay. I mean, I'm not against it, but like,
What I'd love to see
Alright.
is either hard camp or really accurate. Like I really
Yes,
want to see
yes,
one of
exactly.
those two. Yeah,
like Alexander the Great's like posh.
yeah, exactly. It's like, oh,
Whatever.
yeah, the enemy.
Okay,
They're,
okay.
yeah,
The enemy, we're here. The enemy is here.
yeah. That's
No.
yeah. Beware the Karakitaya, for they are without honor.
The carrot guitar with that is good. I miss. I'm gonna have to replay it. I still have the discs. I need
Yeah.
to gotta go back.
Apparently, according to Stormeggio, in the Italian version, the accents are even more exaggerated. That's so
Oh,
awesome.
but that makes it good. That's how.
Yeah, either camp or accurate.
That's even
One
that's
of the two.
worth a video. You just revisit the differences. That's just. It's the OG span. Yeah, I can believe that because yes.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the voice acting on the original Attila 6 outro, when the priest gets so close to a whisper, the novice feels his breath and says, "I miss it." Says Alchemist, is earth-shattering chills every time. Yeah, like
yeah,
that's the
like,
thing.
yes,
It was camp as shit, but then it could be like awesome, like super good.
well done. Like super. It's just like what these. I mean, yeah, exactly. Some bits like El Cid, Campeador, and sometimes it would just be the most wonky, like King Alfonso, and he's just a dickhead. And then suddenly it was just like, wow, this is a movie. This is cinema. It is beautiful.
Absolutely.
The narrator woman Ismael is just super British. Yeah, true. It's terrible.
God, yeah. So I guess that's the way I see a lot of things in like historical games is I either want it to be like, as authentic as you can get it within reason, or if you're going to be camp, be like really camp.
Yes,
Because
do it
camp
like that.
doesn't have to be bad. Camp can be actually really awesome. It can be very heartfelt, but it's exaggerated and operatic and goofy and
As
wonderful.
it can be. Yeah, exactly. And now I'm just looking. Saladin 6 was really hard back in the day. True, it was the pinnacle of
Yeah.
difficult. Although, again, you could just, cheese it by building a wonder on, which they fixed with some rocks.
They
Haha,
did.
very good. Very well done. Good
Uh-huh.
show. But all right, I get it. And the war elephants you got are also pretty cool. Joan of
They're
Arc was
pretty
really good. But, oh, yeah. And then we're back at the Vilo. Where was it? I just skipped through it. Vilo is good, but the other scenarios feel true. Okay.
There's
the scenario.
Oh, Age of History says I've always been impressed with the cutscene artwork. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. The cutscene
True,
artwork is
true.
such good style, you know.
A good friend of mine, based student, who's made a lot, like the Julius Caesar, Edward, was it Longshanks? No, not Longshanks. I have no idea. But
There's Longshanks, right?
amazing,
Yeah.
seriously amazing designer. He's published way more than I have. He makes his own, based off of the
Wow.
work, and my God, it is that seriously. If you want to play more scenarios, please play his stuff. He is good God, he is a goated. I remember when I first met him, and I had to help him with the triggers and the design and stuff. And my God, the improvement, it's crazy. Like seriously, now honestly, he surpasses me easily by the stuff he's done.
That's so
It is
cool.
crazy.
Isn't that
It's
satisfying to like
crazy.
watch
It
people
is.
doing well?
It's awesome to see because I remember the first scenario he made, and I don't know how we got connected. It was just like, oh yeah, cool, I can help you, like blah blah blah, and I made a couple copies of the scenario, said like, oh, I do this and that and this and how map, and then it came out and it was just amazingly done, and we didn't even know how to make AI at the time, and we learned how to do that together by just copying an AI from the Burgundian campaign because it was the
Cool.
most basic AI. And then now my God, he only even played his stuff. And seriously, the scenarios he's doing, chef's kiss, beautifully done.
That's
Seriously,
sweet.
and he used like AI voices, to do the voices, but again, they're like really, if some again campy, beautiful. He's put music in it, sound effects, and he makes his own like drawings and all that. It's just crazy. It's insane.
His own
Honestly,
drawings is insane. Yeah.
it is correct. It is number one for me. If you ask who's like if your favorite custom scenarios in general, that would be the of course you've got the one I also made with Alexander the Great, but Julius Caesar by far is incredibly made. It's a bloody three-parter. There's like 18 scenarios.
Yep.
Who am I talking about here? Base Teuton, custom scenario. Seriously, please look him up
He also
in
goes
the
by
game.
Christopher, right?
Christophoros or whatever,
Yeah,
because it's like big
Christophoros.
land.
Yeah.
I've got no idea.
In
But it's
the
based
Greek.
Teuton in the game.
Yep.
Seriously, if I'm intrigued,
Yeah.
who is this?
He's on my Discord server as well, I believe.
Yes, he is.
Um,
He's goated. The guy's a genius. Seriously, play his stuff, and then in the custom scenarios you can also put it in your own editor, and you just look at the triggers and stuff. It is wow.
Yep.
I mean, he's the guy that made all the who made the AI way better. The background in the Alexander the Great, the voices and all that, all the more technical stuff. He's the mastermind behind that. Seriously.
So cool. And the fact that he does his own art is insane. And even
It's
if he uses
crazy.
like AI voices, at least he's adding some like camp to it. Because as Stromagio added, nowadays like voice actors feel a bit flat. Used to have more
It
emotion.
is.
It's like a core memory. And I actually have a really funny story about that. Although before I do, PRO, good to see you. Arrived almost at the end, but that's all right. We're still happy. If you guys have other discussion topics, please throw them out. But here's an interesting story. I don't think I've ever told you, like anyone on this channel, this story before, but it's a funny one. So, before I started doing YouTube stuff, and like in the very early days of me doing YouTube stuff, my main thing I was doing was I was working as an actor. And as an actor, you belong to these things called casting websites, like Backstage and Actors Access
yeah.
and similar. And what they do is they bombard you with postings about projects that you might fit, right? Oh, you look like this, you might fit for this project. You have this voice, you might fit for this project, blah, blah, blah. You're in this location, you might fit for this project. And one of the things that first got me back into Age of Empires in like a content creation fashion was I had been watching Ornlu for quite a while, and I had just seen the it wasn't Tomislav, it was something else. One of those like great campaigns come out, maybe by
Aprenek,
Jacques
maybe.
Leno or something.
Yeah, Aprenek.
Yeah, and I saw on this casting website a posting, wanted voice actor for an Age of Empires 2 campaign, and I said, wait, what the really? Because I'd just been watching an Ornlu thing. And I think, I don't know if it was for the Tomislav campaign, but it was a Balkan campaign of some kind. Don't know that they didn't specify who the creator was, what the project was, any of that. But
Be shackling them.
they made a posting on a professional casting website looking for a high quality voice actor for their custom
And
scenario.
yes, it must have been Tomislav. That must have been that one.
Yeah,
If it's Balkan, because yeah.
and so I remember seeing this and being like, Jesus, this person is so serious about their custom scenario that they're hiring professional voice actors for it. I mean, obviously I applied, and obviously I didn't get it, right? My Balkan accent isn't the strongest thing in the world, but I still just remember being wildly impressed by it, and it made me want to make my own stuff more, you know? But yeah, I think that you either go in the direction of authenticity or camp, and you really want to commit to one or the other as much as possible.
I'm always a fan of camp. It has to be camp to be Age of Empires for me. Really.
If I were making my own game from ground up, I'd try to go for more on the authentic side, but I do love the camp. It is really fun. I just want it to be like hard commit if you're going to do it.
I get that, yeah. No, I get that.
And with that, I think that we are come to the end of the stream. If anyone has final questions or discussion topics, please feel free to fire them away. Ozzy, before anything else, thank you so much for taking the time to come and share your insights on map making and everything else. It's been awesome getting to hear your thoughts on all this. You're a great creator. I cannot wait to see what else you do. I will post your channel again in chat, and I really look forward to working on this project with you.
Yeah, thanks, man, for the opportunity to do this. I found it really cool because I'm not that big of a creator, so it's really it's really weird being and doing this, but it's been really nice. Really chatting. It's quite funny. Definitely about the what was it, the abs? That was my favorite part.
Yeah, the Lautaro abs.
That's the highlight. Definitely.
That's great. And to all of you who are watching, thank you for joining me on this one of the final days of the year. I apologize for my cruddy sickness and my yucky voice. Keep an eye out over the coming, probably next couple months for information about the community project. I won't give too much away about it yet, but it's something Ozzy and I are doing together, and we are going to be actively recruiting people from the community to participate in it. And it's going to be a very new type of content for my channel, so we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, there are other things to look forward to. I do still have plans for things like builds and total overhaul and similar. And so to all of you, I look forward to hearing your thoughts on future content. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for being here for the stream. And Ozzy, any closing thoughts from you?
Not really. Just because I've been reading the chat for the creator, the nickname of the last creator. I'm just gonna put it in the chat because I am currently in there. To solely do that, and for the project, it's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be way cool. Because I'm not allowed to say anything much. But I think you guys will enjoy it truly. Yeah, and I just kind of like it that it's more community driven. That actually hiring. I wouldn't say hiring because they'll be like, we're gonna pay you. But more like people can kind of get into it. That's gonna be really fun. And definitely as a scenario editor person, it's gonna be a lot of fun to do. And also for anyone that is interested in the scenario or has any scenario stuff, you're always allowed to send it through. And I think the nice little Discord server we've created, which I'm surprised it's that active. The people in there are really, really nice and can answer any question nearly, except if it's about AI. But we all kind of suck at that, so it's all good. So seriously, if you're interested in that type of stuff, always welcome to drop by.
Marvelous. And to all of you watching, have a wonderful turn of the year. Thank you again for your time. My name is Robbie Howell.